been different areas of my life. I've had like an interesting life. Like, I think I've had a lot of lives. I've done a lot of things, and personal and work. And I think probably my favorite era, probably is yet to come. I don't think I've achieved it yet.
It is March 30th. It's Thursday. We have a special episode. We have Chris Appleton with us. Chris Appleton is a hairstylist. He's a celebrity stylist, I think you would call him. He is very handsome, and better than being handsome, he is very thoughtful and very nice. So he joins us. Joey Camasta joins us because Joey Camasta is, not surprisingly, a big fan of Chris Appleton. And that's what we're doing today. So this is the Token CEO podcast. I'm Erika. I'm the CEO of Barstool Sports. Before we get into Chris Appleton and Joey Camasta and hair and makeup, let's talk about Omega Accounting Solutions. So if you have a small business and you employed people during COVID, A, good for you. You deserve a pat on the back. Second, you might be eligible for something called the Employee Retention Credit. What's awesome about the Employee Retention Credit is that it enables you to get up to $26,000, that's a lot of cash, back per employee for every employee you employed during COVID. Pretty awesome. The other great thing about Omega Accounting Solutions is that they are obsessed with helping small businesses. So whether you're a celebrity hairstylist or you run a little media company or you have a mom and pop store, Omega Accounting Solutions can help you figure out your finances and figure out and manage your books. So if you go to omegataxcredits.com/barstoolsports, you can learn more, or you can call 1-855-505-DAVE. That's 1-855-505-DAVE to see if you qualify for the Employee Retention Credit and to learn more about Omega Accounting Solutions. All right, so Chris Appleton is with us. He's launching a new product line. He has a new smoothie at Erewhon. Hand up, I've never been to Erewhon. I don't even know what Erewhon is, but it sounds like it is a fabulous grocery store in Los Angeles. Who doesn't want a smoothie at Erewhon? I guess Hailey Bieber has one. Anyways, beyond that, he has built an incredible career as a hairdresser and hairstylist. He's done hair for countless magazine covers. He's on magazine covers himself. He's J-Lo's person. He's Kim K's person. So he's pretty fabulous. Chris and I have a chat. Then Joey Camasta and I have a chat with Chris. And I think we might convince him to get a dog, which I think is the biggest contribution I can possibly say I made to Chris Appleton.
I don't know. I'm also have a lot of, I guess I get sent a lot of clothes and stuff. Okay. So I'm always this morning I just put it together myself. I think I have a good sense of what I like and what I don't like. Okay. But I'm always open to trying new things. Sometimes I just think I know my aesthetic, my body, because I'm 6'4" and I'm work out. So I don't. Sometimes when people just put me in huge oversized stuff, I think that looks better on someone maybe slightly shorter. Or sometimes when you're long and you've just got really baggy clothes.
And then it just looks really, really
big, like a big old
baggy.
box.
Yeah, you don't want to look like that.
But then when you wear stuff that's too tight, it kind of looks like you're gym guy. So I don't know. I kind of know I'll kind of do a combination of baggy and tight, and whereas some people just kind of yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, I look a sack of potatoes. Because it's not just about the way you look, it's about how you feel.
Well,
it's
that's
really
right.
important.
I was thinking about that too. I was looking at crop tops today, and I was like, I just would feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter how many people tell you.
I don't want my belly fat hanging out. I don't care if I have little or how much I have.
Totally. Yeah, no, 100%. So I think I'm about right now kind of opening the gates to, being, I guess, more adventurous with my style and changing it up. But I think coming out your comfort zone for anyone is uncomfortable. Yeah. But I think that I make people do that all the time when I'm changing their hair and stuff.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Really, I've got to get
You got to walk the walk.
Recently, my hair just dyed it dark.
You used to have blonde hair, right?
I've been blonde for 6.5 years, 7 years.
Is this your natural color?
Yeah. And it was kind of the blonde became my thing. And even when I wanted to go dark, everyone was like, why have you got dark hair? It's not who you are. And I'm like, oh, well, because it's kind of actually here's who I am. Yeah. And but bleaching your hair, if anyone bleaches the hair, it's so much work. If it's not the right color, if it's not light enough, then it looks yellow, which doesn't look good on me. And if it goes beyond white, it disintegrates. So I was always in this battle
your
of
hair
staying on my head, having to keep shaving it off. Yeah, and I was just sick of kind of having fried hair all the time. And also I think I was kind of going into a new era of my life. And sort of focusing more on business, and I'm bringing out my own product line. Yeah. all those kind of things that just felt like, you know what, it's good to have a change.
Should have a more serious look.
Serious, yeah, like more kind of, I guess the blonde is like fun, and then the dark is kind of a little bit more classic.
That happened to me. I had my first job and I had long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I need to look professional. So then I chopped it like short. It was the ugliest thing ever. I mean, I don't have a face for short hair. But
it's so hard once it's gone because it takes so long to
years.
grow. I know I had my hair trimmed the other day and I was like, I'm trying to grow it. I just did. Did you see the cover of that L'Officiel shoot?
Yes, it was beautiful.
So I had like a flow. And I was kind of like, oh, I like this flow. So I've been trying to grow it. But then every time someone trims it, they're like, I'm just going to cut into this up. And I'm like,
don't do it.
It doesn't really seem to be going beyond half an inch. I'm like, where's my flow? So
it must be intimidating to cut your hair, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, do you let anybody do it, or are you like super anal?
No, I'm really actually not. But I usually know pretty quick if it's going to be a good haircut or not.
You do?
You know? Yeah, I can tell by the way they handle me, like the way they touch my head. Like if I think anyone's hair I've ever done, they'll probably say like, he's got a firm hand, that man.
Oh, you're like moving their head around?
I have a firm hand, but I think there's a difference between hurting someone and having a firm hand. I think a firm hand, like you know what you're doing, and it's a different kind of feeling, whereas when someone's just like hurting you for no reason, that's not what I'm about.
Do you think that happens a lot in haircuts?
I think some people are rough.
Really? Like
especially
pulling.
when you're styling and doing fashion and stuff, we're always in such a rush.
Yeah.
You know, and if you got to snatch your hair into like a high ponytail,
you really have to pull tight.
You have to pull, and like that's kind of the fashion industry. You know, like that's what makes it look better than a gym pony because it's like snatched. You know, but that can hurt and it can be uncomfortable. You know, if it's too tight, it can burn the hair. You know, I've seen people have alopecia and everything from ponytails, but. So yeah, there's definitely a fine line between being confident and rough. I like to think I'm more confident, but I can usually tell if someone's kind of like with my hair, I have a lot of it. So if someone's kind of just like very light and soft with it, I kind of feel like my hair's gonna win.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. You have to
my
kind
hair
of
is stronger than
you have to cut it. You know, if you're gonna just be generic with it, it probably won't work.
Okay, so describe the Chris Appleton journey. Like, give us from the beginning.
Oh God, I mean, I get asked this a lot. All right, so I'm from a small town in Northern England called Leicester, and I, you know, from a young age knew I wanted to do something a little bit different. I knew I wanted to be in a different position in my life where a lot of people around me were very, I don't know, 9 to 5 jobs. Everyone worked hard, but life felt, for me, in my experience, it felt really wasted.
Okay.
Because I was like, God, there's a world out there.
Yeah.
And there's so many, I'm really into feelings and emotion and making people look and feel their best. And I found when I did hair, like I started doing my mum's hair when I was like 9 years old, because she had a really rough experience in life. She had a really bad childhood. And I realized when I did her hair, and I was like, all right, Mum, look in the mirror, that it was such an impactful way of making her look and feel good. Yeah, so her shoulders will go back. And I remember thinking, God, like this is like a superpower. You get to make people feel really good about themselves. You also get to transform them, which I kind of think is my thing, like transforming people, getting people to come out of the comfort zone. So it started with my mum.
Sorry, can I interrupt you? How do you feel about the movie Billy Elliot?
I love it. It makes me cry every time.
Doesn't that, when he like just tap dances down the street and then he's in, like, do you like relate to that?
I think it's been such a journey that, and
then he's soaring in a beautiful, artful world, but he still has what made him, you know? I
think what's interesting about, like, for example, Billy Elliot is such a grounding film because even, it's not that the people weren't supportive, but it was just kind of like, oh, yeah, just go and do hair. Like, along the way, agents, anyone, any next step you tried to do, it was always just like, you know, whatever. You know, even now, like working outside of hair, like, so I've done everything in hair. I've done every aspect of it, from celebrity to fashion, every different environment. I have a degree in color. I've done every type of
You
hair.
are an expert at hair.
Yeah, I really, really learned my craft. I wanted to learn how to do shoots, hair for photo shoots. I wanted to do the cover of Vogue. I wanted to do Fashion Week. I wanted to do Mrs. Jones that came in every week and make her feel good. But I wanted to see can I do that with J-Lo? Like I really pushed my craft as far as I can go. And then beyond that, I was like, well, what's next? You know, what's next? Is stop here and this is it. And I was like, well, no, it's never really been the way I've been. So going into new endeavors now with my new product line, but then even just becoming a personality in your own right and people wanting to know more about you.
Yeah, how do you like that?
It's interesting because when people stop me, they'll say like, "Oh, you're Chris Appleton," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I am that guy you see on social media with like my top off or looking hot or with some celebrity." And I guess it's really a very small part of who I am because there's so much more to that. So I feel like I'm almost stepping into a bit of a role sometimes.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, listen, Chris Appleton. It's like Chris Appleton is definitely who I am in that Instagram guy. There's definitely an element there, but I'm also very down to earth. I'm not into. I think people think I'm going to like everything fancy and everything bougie, and I'm really not. Like I would love to stay in and watch movies and talk about life. I suppose to go to some bougie restaurant and be around swanky people. Like it actually makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's fine, and I can do it when I'm in work mode.
Yep.
But if I'm just relaxing, it's sometimes a little bit more like I'm like, oh, you think I'm that person, and I'm really not. That's like this like idea of like a perfect like we all post the perfect picture of the perfect environment, and in actual fact it's not like that. Sometimes it's it's different to that, and I think becoming more known, I guess being on the shows and being people like wanting to be more interested in my own life, people like your love life, my relationships, my kids, my everything that I guess who I am. I've just had to adapt to that, and I don't like it when people are like, oh, it's too much. Because at the end of the day, you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, 100%.
If you put yourself on TV and if you're going to be out in the public eye, and you're going to post those kind of pictures, and if you're going to, you know what you're putting yourself out there for. Because you're putting yourself out there for, a reason. There's going to be another side to it, which is, and it can be intrusive. And at the same time, I think I always try and be very graceful and thankful that people are interested in people, actually follow and invest in your life. And they want you to do well. And they want you to, be happy or find love or be successful in your career or see you move on or, like, I don't know, I guess I'm probably one of the first hairdressers to try and like, doing covers of magazines and stuff. And it's really nice to be celebrated in that way and actually just talk about like the beauty industry. And I remember, a long time ago, people were like, well, people don't care. But I think people do care. People do care about people feeling good and the ability to do that. And
people love transformation.
Totally. But also, if you look at the beauty industry now, like it's fucking huge. Like how big is the beauty industry? It's like $1 billion. Like it's just, everyone's involved and invested in like, with social media now, changing their looks. How do I get that hairstyle? How do I do that makeup? And we want it fast and we want it regular. So there's so much information needed from our craft that I think it's really nice just to expand it out and go, well, this is not just good for J-Lo. This is actually really good for, Mrs. Parker that comes in every week to the salon and wants to look good and feel good herself. So I try and break that kind of mold of like, this is the elite, this is for the like, celebrities and try and break it down into like, well, this is how, you can feel good no matter who you are or what you look like or what your hair texture is,
And you show your daughter a lot. You show you're doing your daughter's hair. So like, what's your advice to people who, and women in particular, and young women who want to feel good?
Well, my daughter Kitty, she's amazing. She's 18. She just moved over from England a year ago. And, she moved over because my goal as a dad was always to give her a better opportunity in life. Now, I didn't move to LA till I was 30, so it was a different experience. And it took a long time to figure it out, learn how to protect myself. You're in Hollywood. It's the land of dreams. It's also the land of, a lot of people not achieving their dream.
You've called it lonely, which I think is that's
a telling thing. I don't personally find it lonely because I think I have good friends and I have my family. I think it can be a lonely place if you're just searching for, fame or stardom or success and you don't take time to really build great people around you, because a lot of people go to LA to be something, to do something, and you have to be careful that you have real people around you that will keep you in check and just be happy just to fucking laugh and belly laughter with you and just at nothing,
goof around,
and like, oh great, you just got that contract which is like this much, and it's like, oh, just pass me the potatoes. You know what I mean, the real shit that's like life, because at the end of the day, it's great people like celebrating your career, but it's not who you. It's not. That's right. I want a life. I want to like laugh with someone. I want to share my life with the people I love.
You want intimacy.
Totally, and I think that's probably the balance that you have to figure out, because as you're on the grind, you do have to put so much into what you do.
Yeah.
You really do to make it happen. But I think probably COVID was one of the things that really helped me realize that, like, wait, you know what? It's really important you have foundations and you have a life. Yeah. It's really important that you come home and, like, you have that reality. Because you know what? It doesn't last.
No.
There'll always be someone younger and cooler come along. You will get old. You will age. People will. You'll have waves.
Soften a little bit.
You'll have waves of being great, waves not, like, and that's okay. That's just the realms of life. But I think when people try and grasp onto it so hard and don't let go, it's when they just become like, I don't know how happy that can be.
Maniacal, yeah.
I think you have to find balance, which is really important.
Have you seen Narcos? Okay, so I'm watching Narcos right now. Narcos Mexico. I'm obsessed. It's like the story of Pablo Escobar, and it's basically the story of, like, the drug trade. In Mexico, there's this guy, Felix, and Felix is, like, trying to be the kingpin. He's trying to own the entire drug trade from Colombia to LA to New York, whatever. But he is so maniacal about it. He has nothing around him. Like, he's soulless.
Okay.
And he's given everything up for this dream, if you can call it that. But you see how the dream eats him. Like, there's nothing left. Yeah. And even if he gets it, and he's not going to get it, but even if he gets it, the reward isn't even there. Like, I love how you describe it. Like, I think people in their careers or in their passions or in their endeavors, it's great to strive for things. I think it's like, one question I have for you is, like, what is the favorite of your chapters? Like, for us at Barstool Sports, like, we're in this, we just got acquired, we're having success, we're very big. My favorite time was, like, when we had nothing and we were, like, hustling and scrapping and nobody really cared, but we thought we were onto something.
Yeah.
But if you don't have, one, if you're not good with yourself, and two, if you don't have people around you who really don't care what you do all day, that just how you come home and who you come home to. Like, how do you see that in your life? Like, when you look back, do you have a favorite era?
It's been different eras of my life. I've had, like, an interesting life. Like, I think I've had a lot of lives. I've done a lot of things, and personal and work. And I think probably my favorite era, probably is yet to come. I don't think I've achieved it yet. But I think I'm really happy with where I'm at in terms of trying to be the best version of who I can be. I think that's really important to me. Like, I try and look at, like, how I can be a better person as a partner, as a parent, as a colleague, as a friend. I try and take time to be accountable and fair, and just, I think, have, like, quality relationships with people that I really care about, because life's really short, and you lose people along the way. And, like, my mum, like, maybe a year and a half ago, she got esophagus cancer, and it was the biggest wake up call, because I remember I was in Miami. I'd just come off a banana boat in the water, and I saw my phone. I picked up my phone, and it had a missed call from my dad. I just kind of looked like this, and I was like, oh, my dad called. And don't ask me why, but I just knew what he was going to say. I don't know why. And he's like, Crystal, we've got something to tell you. We've been wanting to keep this from you, but your mum has this esophagus cancer. You Google esophagus cancer, it basically says you're going to die.
Yeah.
It's really,
so aggressive.
And then I spoke to Kim Kardashian, obviously my client. Her dad died within 2 weeks of finding out he had it. It's a really aggressive cancer.
It's so aggressive.
And it was during COVID, so they kind of wouldn't tell us anything, and we couldn't. She had to keep going in on her own, and we were like, well, how bad is it? Has it
what's
spread?
Happening?
Inevitably, they said they'd cut bits out. They went to do it, and they said, look, there's still bits changed that sell, so the best thing to do is actually cut your esophagus out. So she had one of the biggest operations you can have, where they cut your esophagus out, get your stomach, and make your stomach the new esophagus. And you're on, like, life support after. We couldn't go in. It was crazy. And then, like, it was the risk of it spreading.
Yeah.
Cut forward to her going through all that, and she went back for her final checkup, and they said, it's all clear. And they said you kind of have these conversations once every 5 years where someone actually survives it. And she just caught it early. And it was
once every 5 years. Yeah. That's amazing.
And I just thought to myself, fuck me, like, life is short. Because I remember getting that call from my dad. I remember thinking, oh my God, this is that thing that's going to happen. Like, as a kid, I was always scared of my parents dying. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I was like, well, you know what? You'll be old then, and everything will be like...
It'll be okay,
and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, if it did happen now, it probably wouldn't not make sense. I am older now. I'm not 10 anymore. And they are older. and bad things happen all the
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
we sometimes get comfortable with like, not comfortable, but complacent.
Yeah, with the trappings.
And they live in England, and I live in LA. We're on completely different timelines. So I think it really just made me go, do you know what? I want to make sure that everyone that's in my life knows how much they mean to me and how important they are. Because I'm always so busy, and it's difficult to kind of stay in contact. But I was like, God, you know, I don't want to have any regret. I don't want to have any regrets that I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that to that person, or I didn't let that person know how I feel, or how important they were to me, or, you know, I'm not perfect. I still fuck up, and I still do stuff wrong. But like, I just,
at least you're trying.
Totally. And I think that's just something, that's where I'm at in my life right now, just trying to be like the best version of me. And I think great things come from that.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like great things can come from that.
Definitely. You're not going to get it right every day, but you're going to get it right most days, and you get better as you go.
Yeah.
How is your life in that you have all these celebrity clients who are very demanding and big deals in their own right. Like, are you at other people's beck and calls? Like, how do you protect how do you manage that?
I think, you know, when I first moved to LA, it was crazy. It was just a whirlwind of working with every celebrity and being available whenever, however, you know, and you just make it work. And then I think, again, with growth, you start to sort of, okay, now what works?
Yeah.
What's realistic? Because you can burn your candle at both ends for a certain period of time, but then you get to the point where you're like, okay, as a human being, I have to have balance.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think I'm at anyone's beck and call particularly, but like, you know, I love the people I work with. I think, you know, not only are they clients, we have a great friendship, and I want to be there for them. And they're also really supportive, and like, you know, I'm not available every day.
Yeah.
That's okay, you know, I'm there for the big stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's a big thing, it's like, hey, I really need you for that. I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. But, you know, Kim's been incredibly supportive of my career. I actually won an award for the Daily Front Row this year. I'm winning best, you know, artist hairstylist of the year or something. She's going to present it to me, and
that's nice.
that takes a lot of time. Like, just to go in, get glam, book the day out, come. You know, it's a big old deal, but she's really supportive and giving back,
great.
and she's always been the best. And I've learned so much from just watching how hard she works as a mom, as an artist, as a celebrity, everything. You know, all the different areas and challenges that come along, and you know, same with Jennifer. It's just watching how they manage life, how they manage having a career, how they manage having a family, how they manage having kids. It's a balancing act for anyone, and that doesn't matter if you're not a celebrity. If you just, you know, have kids at home and you have a 9 to 5 job, still it takes a lot of balance and a lot of energy. So I think I'm a bit like a sponge. Anyone around me that I kind of like look up to, I try and like, okay, look and think, well, how do they do it?
Yeah.
How do
and
they
what
manage?
can I take from
how
that?
do they manage that? How do they manage criticism?
Yeah.
How do they manage being pulled in different directions? And you know what? Part of that was growth and, you know, expanding a team, having more people on your team. Like now I'm constantly expanding. I have my business manager, I have my agent, and now I have a different agent for different projects. You know, because to grow, you have to grow.
Needed more help.
Yeah, you can't keep it all under your thumb.
Yeah.
And sometimes as an artist, creatively you want to do that because it's like an element of
that's
control.
Your secret sauce.
And it's kind of like, well, no one does it like I do it. But I learned to let go and make life easier.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can be your own cockblock. I don't want to be a cockblock.
No, especially not to yourself. Can
To
you say
myself.
no? Are you good at saying no?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. Ask me something.
So if I'm like, if
No.
Kim is like, show up tomorrow, you're like, no.
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not like that. I'm not like no. No, I'm just more like, you know, that, okay, what works? I think I'm really giving, and I'm very, I bend a lot for people. When it's reciprocated. That's in relationships, when it's friendships, when it's, even with my daughter, you know, something happened the other day and I came back and I just was like, I was literally like, look, I respect you, I show you respect, I'd like the same back. And if not, that's fine, but don't expect, like, you know what I mean? It has to work both ways.
It's a two-way
Like,
street.
I think I'm a very, like, I really appreciate what others can do or help or just be great as a friend, and vice versa. So I've learned to just not necessarily say no, but like be realistic on what I can and can't do.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's not like, oh no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. It's more of a like, what is part of my journey right now? Like, what's right?
Important to you?
Because you can't do everything that's thrown at you, you know, and nor should you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
How have you ever dumped a client?
Dumped? Oh, I wouldn't say I dumped. I just chose not to like maybe go back because for whatever reason, it just wasn't a match.
Just didn't work for you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not a match. It's like a partner. You can't always meet the right one. It's like you don't always get. I think sometimes, for whatever reason, it's just not right. And that's all right too.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
As human beings, we don't have to be with everyone.
And you shouldn't be. What excites you about hair and style and fashion right now? Like, what's exciting you about that?
I think just the constant evolvement of what is going on with the industry, and I'm trying to pioneer and be. I mean, that sounds really wanky. I don't mean it in that way, but like I'm trying to push to like open up what our industry is and like what we do and how it works and how. If you don't look like him, but this is how you can look like him. I'm trying to break it down and keep it more real. I think Kim did a great job of that with Skims. She had like, if you have these fatty bits like me, if you have this bit that you don't like here, then just put these on and that help. And like, people like that because it's real. Yeah. And like, if you want longer hair, then these extensions I really like. Whereas before it was like no one talked about
I like it. I like that it's like that now. The journey.
Totally. It was like, no one talks about the real shit.
I have thousands of extensions.
Exactly. So I think it's kind of like, I love that evolvement in society of like, well, this is who I am and this is me. And I think like the element of respect of not having to fit into a box.
Yeah.
And even in hair, like just doing different things outside of hair and becoming like, having attention in different areas and just, I think I'm multifaceted in terms of like, I love doing all the TV stuff. I love showing women at home how to like get the look, how to
you're making products,
feel hot, how to bring products to life, how to use products, how to look cute when you're dressing, how to drink. And I just did my collaboration with Erewhon and did the smoothie. Like it's not just about hair. There's so much more that goes into looking and feeling good and making people look and feel good, and it's like emotional medicine from different. And I guess anything that I passionate about, I think that's important to me. People are like, you look pretty good, like look after yourself, and I'm like, this is how I do it and why I do it. It's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good.
That's right.
It's about being able to be good to other people. It's kind of a balance.
I love that.
Am I going on?
No,
I feel like I'm rabbiting.
I feel like, do I have to get Joey? Joey's just gonna have a heart attack if I don't. How much time do you have?
Yeah, I have time. Can I use the bathroom?
Yes. All right, real quick, we're going to interrupt Chris to talk about AMPLA. Did you know more than 80% of small to medium-sized businesses fail due to cash flow? So if you're Chris Appleton and you've got all these celebrities and they want you to do their hair and you're doing all these magazine shoots, you don't get paid the day you do somebody's hair, right? You don't go over to Kim K's house and she's giving you like $100 to get her hair done. Probably definitely costs like exponential to that, but whatever. Anyways, what's amazing about AMPLA is AMPLA enables businesses to access non-dilutive growth capital to fund inventory. Growth capital means cash. You can use this cash to, as I'd mentioned, fund inventory, advertising campaigns, or to pay vendor expenses in as little as 24 hours with a 5-minute application. Non-predatory transparent pricing. You'll never pay more than your stated APR. No underwriting, onboarding, or prepayment fees. AMLA's automated underwriting proactively increases your credit limit as your business scales, and you can take advantage of free unlimited draw requests to provide your company business capital when it needs it most. Apply for AMPLA's growth line of credit today at getampla.com/tokenceo and get 3.08% APY for up to 3 months on deposits to your complimentary AMPLA banking business checking account. That's getampla.com, that's AMPLA, getampla.com/tokenceo. You just have to fill out a 5-minute application and AMPLA can tell you if you qualify. AMPLA is a financial technology company and not a bank. Banking services are provided by AMPLA's partner banks who are member FDIC. That's important these days. Visa credit cards are issued by AMPLA's partner banks pursuant to a license from Visa USA, and they may be used everywhere Visa is accepted. International transaction fees may still apply. Now back to Chris Appleton. I'm supposed to say that Joey is a hair and makeup artist and
I like your shoes, girl.
Guru turned
comedian.
Oh, okay, good, fun.
I've been in the business many moons.
Yeah,
I could be your great grandmother.
No,
I'm kidding. Is that a YSL jacket?
This one.
Yeah.
Vintage.
Oh, even cooler.
I'm not like a massive brand.
Me either, because they don't make my size.
Says the guy in the pants.
I know, but I like.
It's
maybe
subtle.
mix.
I like that you don't know it right when you see it.
I honestly didn't know what to wear this morning, so I just put these on.
Well, I think you look nice. How many pairs of those sneakers do you have?
I have Vans in most colours, like white.
Do you not like that when they get dirty? Like, do you need them
No,
perfect?
I like them kind of beaten up,
Okay.
especially Chucks. I really like beaten up.
Yeah.
I don't like it when they're too new, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it kind of relaxes the outfit a little bit, you know.
Yep. Okay, Joey, this is your time.
That's why I
little
wore mine
family.
today as well, because I
It's
just knew
like a
I
little
wanted that
family
chill
here.
vibe. So I was like,
I love it. Chill vibes.
yeah.
Okay, so what's your question? What do you have to say, Joey?
Well, first of all, what an honor to meet you, Chris. It truly
Oh,
is.
no, it's
I've
an
been
honor to
following
be
your
here.
career, since I've discovered you. We have some mutual friends in common. Michael Anthony is one of my best friends. Yes, you work with him a lot with Ariana and Katy.
Yes.
Yeah, Katy Perry.
I heard of her.
Big names.
I used to work with Ariana Grande. So
You
can
did?
just fuck right off with
What
that.
did you do?
I ran her VIP program.
Oh my God.
Oh.
She's a stud.
Yeah.
She's actually a good business. She's a very good business person.
Yeah. I've been following your career forever. I watch all of your YouTube videos, and I learned so much from you as an artist. Because, when you kind of get out of the business for a while, I was doing hair and makeup for years since my teen years, and I got out of it for a while. So, but you have to still stay relevant.
Do you dye your eyebrows?
I fill them in.
Doesn't he have gorgeous?
With
I
color
dye my
wow.
eyebrows. What do you think?
You dyed them?
Someone told me to dye them because
Dye them. It's just for men.
My eyebrows. Oh, really?
Well, I just darkened them because they were like, oh, it's going to be
Just
better with
get
your dark
just
hair.
get
So I was
just
like,
for
okay.
men. I know that there's all different products out there. I use your colorwear product to fill in my spots.
Yeah.
But yeah, just for men, it's the best beard dye,
your
and you just
spot.
fill it in with your beard dye.
You do have gorgeous eyebrows.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're bushy.
And your eyes
I
always
like
pop.
it.
Aren't they so nice?
Thank
They're so
you.
striking.
But it's hard to stay like, up to date unless you're going to like educational classes and stuff. And I'm kind of
Yes.
out of that world. I know you do your masterclass seminars, but like just quick little things, your quick tutorials. It's so easy to just kind of pick up because you explain it so simply. And it's such all your looks are always like so over the top, not over the top, but they're just like so perfect. And you look at your looks and think, how the hell did you achieve that? And you do a great way of explaining it simply, where you can go back, and not explain everything, but you go back and try it yourself, trial and error. And you're just so great at explaining everything and kind of getting the look.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that like there's I feel like I want to fill the gap, which I mentioned to you, between like a celebrity and that people that actually following celebrities, they say real, I just mean non-celebrity people at home that are watching and going, I want to look like that. Isn't that the idea of a celebrity, that people look at them and they're like, oh, I love that dress, or I love that, or if they see a fashion show, like, people take inspiration from these things. So I guess I want to, and I've always been very passionate about being inclusive for everyone to feel like they have access to that and break down that kind of wall, which it's a bit of snobbery sometimes. It's like, don't tell everyone your secrets. And I'm like, no, it's a fucking secret anyway. None of it's a secret. At the end of the day, like, you can either do it or you can't.
Yeah.
Like, I can do someone's hair and then someone can recreate it. It doesn't mean it's going to look the same. Like, I feel confident in my ability. I think some people kind of just sleep on that. And it frustrates me as well when I see artists sometimes not do themselves justice with, like, they'll have a product line and I'm like, why are you not on TikTok, or why don't you do
Yeah.
why don't you
That's
do
annoying.
videos?
I
Like,
agree with that.
you literally do every celebrity or you do every so-and-so, and I'm like, don't cut yourself short. And it's almost like you feel like they're not worth it, or people are not interested. And I'm like, well, just make them interested. Just talk about what you do. I mean, there's so many conversations now that people want to listen to and are inspired by and open to. And I guess I've just shared my journey as I've gone along. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the great thing about you is everyone, from the outside looking in, you see yourself, you're stunning and gorgeous, and that's one thing that people can be intimidated by. But also, you're working with, the biggest talent in the world, and you're creating these looks. But the thing about it is, you've always been human. You always never, you never dehumanized yourself, and you always be approachable with, I see at your meet and greets and just the way you interact on social and the way, you're not like standing on a high horse and like looking down at people. You're always just so friendly, so relatable, and willing to kind of teach and take the time to talk to people and and humanize yourself in a way. A lot of other artists don't. They're so snooty, and I think people that just really recognize that.
Oh, babe, that's really sweet.
Honestly, and same with Mario. Mario's the same way. They're working with Mario. He's done the same thing because he's he kind of humanizes himself, and he's still like, you get to watch his moments with him, and he's like so overwhelmed. He can't believe all this is happening to him. So it's not just like, oh, look at me, I'm this Hollywood star. I'm doing these stars every day. I'm rich, and I finally have everything I wanted. He's taking you on the journey with him of self-discovery and just like every milestone that you both do, it's like, we feel included with it, which is like, that's why people are attracted to you guys.
What is it about like making people, like you talked about your mom, right? Like your mom put her shoulders back after you do it, and you do this, like I think there's something about you that makes people feel comfortable. Like there's like a trust and
comfort.
What is it about making women feel more confident in themselves? Like you, as two men, like how do you think about that? What's the secret?
I think it's. Well, go on, do you want to go?
Chris, I'll take this one. I feel that I learned this from when I was very young at age. When I was taking cosmetology school, I remember my teacher told me, he said, you can be very talented, but if you don't have like bedside manner or personality or something to kind of to back that up, it's like your career, it can only go so far. People have to trust you, and especially in glam, they're at their most vulnerable when these women are, especially working with celebrities. They're about to do the biggest thing of their life. They're about to being in front of the camera, do things that are very like nerve-wracking to them. They have to feel comfortable around their team and have to have them feel protected. It's not just as when you're traveling with celebrities like this. You become more than just the hairdresser. You become, the bodyguard at some point. You become, their shoulder to cry on at some point. So you're in the car with them. You spend the most time. The hairdresser and makeup artists spend the most time with the celebrities than anything. 'Cause you're there at 5 a.m. when the second they're waking up, and you're there the night right before they go to bed, taking their hair down and getting them ready to go. So you spend the most time with them, and they have to really trust and consider you family. To let you in that close to everything in their lives and every being of their lives. So I think you have to have that kind of repertoire with your clients and just have that personality of a family member, as someone who cares, or just knowing that they're on your team, in order just to first of all trust you with a new look, and that's going to change their identity, because nowadays a celebrity can wear a ponytail set the wrong way and everyone calls them trashy, or brings them all the rags. So it's like literally everything's so scrutinized. But I think, again, talent is definitely the biggest part of it, but also being personable and considering yourself a friend to them, and being that support system for them.
Totally.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think to me, I think I show love by making people feel, Like I think making people feel good is like a expression of love and caring and like giving, you know what I mean?
That's like your love language.
I also know, I don't know what it is I've just always like, it felt like I can just like, not, I say touch people, it sounds really so cheesy, but like, I just feel like I'm good at getting in tune with someone, and like, I want them to feel their best and look their best. I want them to look at and feel their absolute best, because I think life's really hard, and we like, all struggle, and sometimes it just takes someone to do one small thing and it can make such a difference to your day. And if I can be a part of that, like, I like that. It's nice for me. Like, I like, it just, I don't know, it could be something really small. It's not about financial things. It's about like inexpensive things. It could just be something someone says, or the way someone smiles at you, even if, you think, oh, like, everyone goes, oh my God, everyone says to me, when I meet you, so humble. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like, why would, why wouldn't I? What, just because people know who you are, it gives you an excuse to be rude? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like, why wouldn't you be humble? And I know life's busy and stuff, but I just love that. I just love being able to make people smile, or see someone's face light up and the lights come on. Because life's hard and we all get a bit lost sometimes. And we all, I don't know, I know the feeling I get when someone brings me out of it, and how much it means to me. And like, it's just like emotional medicine, I think. Yeah, maybe I should have been a therapist.
But you kind of are.
You kind of are,
or
yeah.
an actor, or I don't know.
But you can still do all those things. That's what's so cool.
Well, we're both models. You're a model as well, correct? I'm in the plus size sector.
I'm a model.
No,
I'm a model. I am with IMG, but I don't know about the modeling thing. I guess you model on Instagram.
Oh yeah, you do.
I don't know about modeling. I think it's like a different kind of. I think as people are interested in your aesthetic or your what you wear and stuff. So I guess you do become kind of modeling like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess it goes in in hand with kind of people, I guess, knowing who you are and wanting to like go, oh, I want to wear that, or where'd you get that from? Or, you know what I mean? You kind of advertising and
What's going on with you now? I know you're the creative director over Color Wow. I love all those products. I still yet to get that wet look with the Pop and Lock.
Pop and Lock.
Not Pop and Lock, with a Dream Coat. What is it? Pop and Lock. Pop and Lock. And
Pop and Lock.
Yeah, you have to use a
saying
lot
that-
of it. You have to use a
you
lot
got
of it to get
Irish
that wet
accent?
look. Yeah, I'm from Dublin.
Oh,
believe it or
you
not.
are?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I'm from New
You really
Jersey,
said the
girl.
pop and lock.
Pop and lock,
Press the
right?
pop and lock.
You got to use a lot of that to get that wet look. I like it though.
You do. Saturate the hair.
Saturate the hair.
Yeah, Colour's been amazing. I've been working with them for the last sort of 5 or 6 years. It was a very organic relationship because I was just using their products. I'm pretty loyal. You know, I'm a loyal person. I don't like to use a lot of different, I mean, obviously I get sent a lot of different stuff all the time, but it was more about kind of working with products that really worked.
Yeah.
So it coincided with that, and we built a relationship, and it's been, you know, really successful. And then, you know, next things, new things are coming on the horizon.
Oh, please come out with the product
Wink,
line.
wink.
I would love it. It's probably going to smell so good.
Oh, do you think I love
Oh, I know. I remember one time I watched you
Are you
Get
a
Ready
smell
With Me
guy?
for Vogue, maybe it was, or maybe we just do it
Yeah.
yourself. And I literally bought every single product that you used. I still have that
And you thought
that
you would
black
look like
and
everything you
Gango
did?
cologne.
Oh, yeah. I went for a real face. I don't wear it
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't wear it anymore. I still have it.
But it was cute.
It was cute. It was
For a
sweet.
bit.
So I bought like literally everything that you
Oh,
suggest.
I
I
love
was
the
like, maybe
Chris
I'll look like
Appleton.
him and be successful if I buy other things. That's true influencing. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
I guess that's how it
Do you think we
works.
look like now?
I do.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
We
So
have
it worked.
to let Chris go.
Okay.
We both wear Vans.
Yeah. I mean, we're the same person. People are gonna have trouble. You're gonna have to put our names under the thing so they know who's who.
Guys,
Thank
I'm
you for
Chris.
doing this.
Just so you know.
This is Joey. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
This
I'm
was
really
fun.
grateful, and it's really nice to be able to have a conversation about, you know, the industry, what goes on, and what, you know, is happening in our world. It's kind of nice to break it down a little bit so people maybe know a little bit more about it. So thank you for having me. I'm really
Yes,
grateful.
congratulations
It's been
on
lovely to meet you
everything.
both.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
thank you, guys.
We're happy for you.
Congratulations on what?
Just
Oh,
being
just being fabulous. Your new
You know
relationship.
what? It's just trying to like, you know, have a life and
Yes.
you enjoy it.
Do you have a dog?
Oh
love
my
animals.
God, it's funny you say that. You think we're getting one.
You have to get one. I've been wanting to ask you this the whole time. You need to get a dog. You're such a dog person.
I've never really had dogs. Like as a kid, we had cats and they kept dying. But like, I don't know. They would
Oh,
get.
just get a dog. Be
yeah.
so happy.
Right. Okay. Well, so
You could bring it with you. You
it's
know,
it's
Yeah.
funny you say that because it might be on the
it's in the cards.
horizon.
How fabulous.
Maybe like a nice little.
A corgi, like the queen.
No, corgi's tough to
No.
carry. You have to have a dog. You
I
can
like
carry,
huskies.
think. Well,
Oh,
I
a
like
big dog.
dogs too.
But,
But
oh,
that's
yeah.
going to be impractical
If I'm gonna
for your
get it-
life.
You say that, babe. I love a challenge.
All right, let's go.
I love a challenge. I love their blue eye, like the blue eyes,
they're
and like
gorgeous.
they're so like sexy, but also like mysterious,
And kinda
a little bit a bit
standoffish.
wacky.
Yeah, totally.
Like I kind of like the challenge.
Like a mismatched eye, like two different
Yeah,
eyes. You know, like
that'd
the
be
brown eye
cute.
and the blue eye.
So maybe I'll
Okay.
come in next time with a little husky.
Oh,
dog.
bring it in.
Okay.
Probably won't have a house there. The only thing that stops me is I got a house and like I did it all really nice, and I know that's probably not
Yeah,
going to
that's
stay.
Yeah.
tough with the dog.
But
you love them
I
so
also
much.
am in this stage of my life where I'm like, you know what? Life's for living.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to build some foundations.
Get a
There you
dog.
go. Just get a good stain remover.
All
It'll
right,
be
let's
fine.
put it
Okay,
out
we'll
to
let you
everyone.
go.
Should I get a dog?
Yes.
Put in the comments below. Everyone's going to be like, no.
I say yes.
I want one.
Okay. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday.